Some of the nation's leading chefs have made the trek here to Germany to prove their collective gastronomic ability. However, the appearance of Team Bahamas at these Olympics almost never was. The team faced some major challenges that almost sent their Olympic dreams up in smoke. It did not matter that Team Bahamas had been planning for the Olympics for months. In spite of applying weeks in advance, the vast majority of team members did not receive their visas in time from the German consulate in Jamaica.
Those of us who had visas left and came to Erfurt, which we arrived yesterday evening. Now, there was three of us. There's Tracy Sweeting, myself, and yourself. So now we are the entire Bahamian culinary team. So as you saw this morning, we went and did a bit of shopping and all our stuff arrived. We're getting prepared and ready. Normally there'd be 5, 6 people doing the preparation that 1 or 2 people are trying to get done at the present moment.
While he remained optimistic, Chef Briggs acknowledged that the team would be fighting an uphill battle because of the delay.
It's 25 minutes to 6 here in Erfurt on Friday evening. In 5 hours' time, 6 hours' time, they'll be at the airport to catch British Airways through London to Dusseldorf, and then it'll take them 3 hours to get here from there. So they'll be here by midnight Saturday night, and they're in the kitchen straight away, off the bus and into the kitchen. I've got great faith in our talents and our skills. We can get the work done, work through until we get as much done as we can.
With cameraman Kevin Taylor taking on the unlikely role of chef's apprentice, the three set out to complete the prep work prior to the team's arrival. Chef Briggs and team captain Chef Tracy Sweeting received a rousing round of applause as the only members of Team Bahamas to enter the Olympic Stadium.
From Austria, we go very exciting. Welcome the national team from the Bahamas. Herzlich willkommen die Nationalmannschaft von den Bahamas.
And then it was back to work in the kitchen.
As soon as they come out, we're going to grab them on the bus. They're going to sleep on the bus. And hopefully they're going to be here, I don't know, midnight, maybe 1 o'clock this morning. And you know, we start early, right? So, otherwise, we need 5 more people.
Yes.
So we will dress up 5. We will dress up 5 people.
Like the Bahamas.
And you're going to be Bahamians tomorrow.
All right.
Right? They say you don't care, right?
No, don't care.
As long as you don't have to do all the work yourself. That sounds good to me. Wonderful. Well, let's wish them good luck, huh, for tomorrow.
All right.
Because, you know, I know some of you have Bahamas tickets tomorrow. Okay? They don't show, you don't eat. No, they will be here.
After finally receiving their visas, the remainder of the team made the long trek to Germany, arriving 48 hours after they were initially supposed to. Worn out after the long trip, they looked to a higher power for help.
Our chefs were exhausted and perhaps were not as attentive to detail as they could have been had they had the necessary rest.
After a long plane flight and a layover in London, to come over, and then a long 6-7 bus ride for them, because our bus ride was only 4 hours. See, all that coupled with being tired and then have to just go right into a kitchen in a hot food atmosphere. After they have to still prep a little bit more with us. It's a huge task to ask. Actually, we thought that we wouldn't even make it in time to cook.
Believe it or not, the delay of the team's arrival wasn't the first hurdle they had to cross. As the international liaison with Bahamas Culinary Association and member of the Ministry of Tourism's culinary team, Julia Burnside explains, the first was financing.
We did have some corporate sponsorship, and for that we are grateful. The Ministries of Tourism and the Ministry of Youth and Sports did do some support us in some way, as did several other companies. However, there are many things that lead up to many expenses that lead up to that day that were not supported by the nation of the Bahamas.
Only like 3 days before we were ready to leave did we get some plates, did we get some platters, Did we get stuff to do the table setup? And these are things, as you can see with the large crowd, these guys have done months, and the other teams time and time and time again. That's why they're so flawless. And you can't help that. Some of these teams, just to do cold food work, were here 3-4 weeks in advance prior to the Olympics starting. So how could you not be perfect or close to perfect having in a conducive setting and atmosphere as that? You can't. It's a letdown. It's a letdown. Knowing that you represent your country on a national level. When we came into the open ceremony, you had the Japan team. They had their politicians. You see them bowing, showing that kind of courtesy and respect. Norway, the same thing. Sweden, they have members of parliament here with them. That's how huge this thing is. You know what I mean? And what do we have?
Ms. Burnside is calling for more support from all sectors of the society. She believes that there needs to be a greater level of commitment, not only from government and corporate Bahamas, but employers of chefs and the chefs themselves.
When there is a practice, they need to be allowed to get off to do that practice. When there's a presentation, they need to be able to do that. And even if it's just once a month or twice a month, they need to be committed to practice. They need to be committed to whatever the exercise that needs to be done.
As if delays and limited funding weren't enough, Team Bahamas faced yet another challenge, this one stemming from the chefs themselves. Internal challenges began to surface in Germany, revealing personality conflicts. In the words of the team captain, some chefs did not contribute as much as they should have, and basically defaulted on their end of the bargain for the team.
I think one would put their all into it, especially just knowing, for me personally and some of the other guys, knowing that you represent your country first. That's the biggest thing. So it was sort of a letdown, somewhat. You had some guys didn't carry their weight.
The love wasn't there in some of the team members. I think we needed to put more effort into what we've done and really get a better result. And the competition to me is always like this examination. One day you're good, one day you're bad. And you need people who have love for it and really have love for this profession. And I think would be more better than someone who can cook a better pot. Because you get more to someone who have love.
We need to have a team where everybody is on one page, heading in the same direction. And sad to say this time we didn't have it like we really thought that we would have wanted to. Like I said, some guys said that they would, but didn't put the effort that they should have. And it's like, you're already here, so it isn't like we could change that. But next time it will be dealt with.
Steps are being taken to avoid this from happening in the future, beginning with the establishment of rules and regulations and better management of the team performance leading up to the competition.
Set up contracts that they got to abide by. If they don't meet the criteria for the contract, then they automatically be off the team. Mandatory how much practice you got to be at, and it have to be a really important reason that you can't make practice. And we need to do a lot more practicing.
Chef Sweeting believes more support would be forthcoming if people realized the important link between food and tourism.
What is more important than tourism? And people come to eat. People, you may go swimming, you may go on the beach, but at the end of the day, in the morning, in the afternoon, and the night, it's food. It's all about food. And that's why this is so huge. You know, they used to have bragging rights for 4 years. What would speak more volume for the Bahamas and tourism if when we come here, we come first, second, or third in hot food or overall for tourism.
Still to come, despite its many challenges, Team Bahamas captures a medal.
It's better